Initially, I was really excited about the candidacy of Pete Buttigieg. He's a fresh face, authentic, and disinterested in tribal politics. However, as I've posted my video expressing just how excited I was, I received a lot of comments of people expressing concern about the veracity of his authenticity and the true nature of his loyalties. So, I wanted to do some digging and find out if I could unearth something that doesn't quite add up. His calling card is Mayor Pete, and he likes to remind people that despite coming out as gay in the middle of his re-election campaign, he was re-elected as mayor of South Bend with 80% approval. That sounds really impressive, but could there be more to this story? For example, while it's true that Indiana as a whole is a majority Republican state, that is not the case for South Bend, because they have not elected a Republican mayor since the 60s. And it's not uncommon for Democrats to win by a large margin. For example, in 1995, there was a Democratic mayor who won with 82% of the vote. What's more, the person running against Pete, by all accounts, was politically inept. She had no experience, no political capital, and no financial capital to speak of. And this disparity is exemplified really well by looking at the total amount of money the two candidates raised. Here's Pete's campaign, raising $343,000, largely from corporate donors, as compared to his opponent, who amassed a staggering $585. Winning against an opponent like this is kind of like winning at arm wrestling against a baby. Like, sure, you won, but I wouldn't put that trophy anywhere where people might see it. But that's not the end of it, because if you look at the second-term mayoral re-elections in South Bend, you'll see that generally mayors tend to get 95% of the amount of votes they received the first time around for their re-election. This was the case in the last 3 re-elections in South Bend. Not so much in Pete's case. He only received 77% as compared to the 95% of the previous 3 successfully re-elected second-term mayors. So a good chunk of people who have come out to support him initially didn't show up the second time around. Even though he won by 80% of the vote, he received the fewest votes a winning candidate has ever received in the entire recorded history of South Bend mayoral elections, and it was the lowest voter turnout in the history of the town. So let me summarize this. He ran a Democrat ticket in a left-leaning university town against an opponent who raised 0.2% of the money that he raised, generating the lowest voter turnout in the history of mayoral elections in South Bend. So to take this and to paint this as some kind of triumph is disingenuous at best and downright deceitful at worst. Look, do I think this means that the guy is full of it? No, but personally, I don't like being misled, and what this is gonna do is it's gonna make me question more of what he says. And perhaps his authenticity is not everything that it's cracked up to be. That's all. Oh, and feel free to check these numbers for yourself in a document I included below.